All right, live cool, man.
I think a lot of men are failing to understand that women don't want boyfriends. If I wanted a boyfriend, I could go out onto the street right now and come back with five. Finding a boyfriend is not hard. Finding a partner, completely different story. And I think the problem is women are allowed to have bank accounts and credit cards and go to school and have careers and choose if and when we reproduce. So we are no longer shackled by raising children. Our lives have gotten exponentially better in the last 100 years. How have men progressed? It used to be that they brought money to the table.
I am so tired of random female opinions when it comes to just how delusional they can really be. So, the ultimate question, how have men progressed? Well, men have allowed you to do all of the things that you now do. I think when you ask the question, how have men progressed? I think it's extremely disingenuous because essentially what you're saying is, I really wanted to be equal. And now that I'm equal, I want it to be unequal again. So, you should be making more money than me, even though you fought for a system where you could make the same amount of money that I make, right? And it's this complete lack of reality when it comes to averages, statistics, what's likely to happen, how hard it is to get a job that pays you more than the average pay. Like all of this stuff completely is disregarded. And it's this picking and choosing what benefits you logic that now gets women in this position where they really believe in their heart and soul that they can lecture you as a man on how to live while they're essentially living on easy mode while pretending that it's not easy mode. I just, it's, it's this rampant cognitive dissonance. And the worst part is nobody cares at all. They only care about you as far as you serve into the accepted narrative. If you're not in that narrative, you're automatically shunned and hated. One really good example of this, actually, I've noticed recently is the incel community or black pill or whatever you want to call it. It's crazy to see how you have this group of guys that are essentially doing the exact same thing, the polar opposite, that women are doing. I'm making all this money. I deserve a man that's higher. They're playing logic. These guys are saying, I'm not good looking enough. It's going to be very hard for me to get a girl that I genuinely want. I'm going to check out of the game. The guys that do that get so much shame to the point that it's politicized to be a terrorist threat within the country. Meanwhile, when girls make way higher than average pay and expect a man that makes equal or more than them, that somehow is not a problem and it's seen as acceptable and preferred. I'm just not really sure how long this mass confusion could go on for. I guess a lot of regular people still subscribe to this nonsense, and it really reminds me of the boomer millennial problem. Boomers were telling millennials for years about how they should just work harder to afford the house. Years go by, it gets worse. Even boomers who start getting affected by the problems are now finally admitting that it's way harder than it used to be. I genuinely believe the exact same thing will start happening with dating. We're not quite there yet. We're not quite past that delusion quite yet, but give it 5 to 10 years and you'll see just how many people are going to start opening their eyes to the reality of how horrible it's become. Anyways, that was a long rant, but I couldn't help but comment on this absolute audacity of this girl who's picking and choosing as she wants to, but still somehow blaming men. It's just unbelievable.
For the family, they did all of these things. I have my own money. What can you give me now? Women want partners. We want people that are going to come into our lives, not only meet us where we're at, but push us to be better.
This masculine behavior says it all. I'm coming to the table, I have the goods, you're gonna do exactly as I say, or there will be nothing. That's essentially what she's saying. Of course, any man with a backbone is going to say, fuck you. She'll spend all this time getting a bunch of fuck yous from different guys only to come to a certain age and then complain about where all the good guys have gone. Unfortunately, even then, there's so many simps available, they'll end up settling and taking it because they just don't know any better. Guys need to repair the brotherhood or the bro code as it used to be. If we don't, it's only going to get worse and worse. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Don't forget to check the links in the description below.